Okay, so what if I told you that being late isn't always a bad thing? In fact, what if it could actually be a gift? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical philosophy that totally flips the script on how we think about punctuality. And we're going to do it by looking at a debate between two radio hosts. So let's just ask it outright. Is being late always a bad thing? I mean, we're all taught that being on time is a sign of respect, right? It's about being efficient. But is that really the whole story? Could there be another way to see it? All right, let's meet radio host Will. He is saying something we can all probably relate to. His co-host, John, is late. A lot. And for Will, it's just frustrating, you know? It throws off the whole schedule, and as he says, his gratitude is, well, it's not obvious. This is where our story really kicks off. And this gets us right to the heart of the conflict here. It's this clash between two totally different ways of operating. One world is all about structure, about predictability, and the other one, well, it just runs on a completely different clock. You can really see their two worlds side by side here. On one hand, you've got Will. He's all about the schedule, the plan. To him, lateness is a bug in the system. But then you have John's reality, which is just messier. He loses track of time, stuff comes up, and he feels like, hey, just getting here was a win, and maybe that deserves a little credit. So right when their frustration is about to boil over, this new idea comes into the picture. It's something that completely reframes their whole problem, a pretty wild philosophy that might just be the thing that saves their show. The idea is called Thank You for Being Late, and it's from the author Thomas Friedman. The thinking goes like this. When someone is late, it forces this unplanned, unexpected pause into our crazy, fast-paced lives. It creates a little bit of breathing room to think, to reflect, to just stop for a second. I mean, this is a total 180 from how we normally think, right? We're taught that being late is disrespectful, it's inefficient, it's a problem that needs fixing. But this Friedman view, it turns it from a flaw into a feature. Suddenly, it's a break in the day, a chance to pause, maybe even a moment where a new idea can pop up. You can imagine, for John, this is like a light bulb moment. All of a sudden, his struggle isn't just some personal failing, it's part of a bigger idea. Like he says, he's just glad someone actually put a theory to it, because for him, it feels like there really is a point to all of this. It's total validation. But this isn't just some interesting theory for John. This is where the story takes a really personal turn, and we're about to understand why this idea means so much to him. And when we say it's personal, we're not just talking about him being a bit disorganized. John's entire point of view comes from a daily, lived experience that, frankly, his co-host and his audience had no idea about. And here it is. The reason this is so critical is that John has CVI, which is a neurological visual impairment. It gives him problems with spatial awareness and perception. For him, just navigating the world is a huge, huge challenge. So this idea of thank you for being late, that's not a luxury for him. It's a necessity. He tells this incredible story about getting ready for a trade show. Just to show up on time and feel oriented, he has to get up super early, travel hours before he needs to, and then spend a ton of time just sitting and getting used to the space before anyone else even gets there. This isn't just planning, it's a massive, exhausting effort. So once this is all out in the open, it changes everything. It doesn't just change how they see each other, it makes them completely tear down and rebuild their professional partnership and the entire structure of their radio show. And it leads them to this really fundamental question. If taking care of the person, their challenges, their well-being, is more important than just blindly sticking to a rigid schedule, then maybe it's the schedule that's broken, not the person. So what do? They decide to stop fighting the old system and just change the system. They break free from the old school rigid model of live radio and build something that actually works for them, not against them. So this is what their new show looks like. It's not this rigid live thing anymore. It's a collection of online clips. They have pre-recorded backups ready to go, so if there's a delay, it's not a catastrophe. This means the audience can listen whenever they want, and the focus shifts from being perfectly on time to making great content. They basically made time their employee, not their boss. And what's so fascinating here is that by solving their own very human problem, they kind of tripped over a solution that points to a much, much bigger shift, one that affects all of us, especially in a world that's getting more and more automated. They start to see that their flexible, on-demand show wasn't just a quirky fix for them. It's a mirror of this huge trend we see everywhere, from Netflix to podcasts. It's how we all live now.
We consume things on our own time, all thanks to technology. And this leads John to this really wild thought. If we humans are just naturally unpredictable, maybe the future of being on time isn't about forcing people to act like machines. Maybe it's about letting machines handle the rigid stuff for us.
And it really gets you thinking about the difference between human time and machine time, right? We're messy. We get stuck in traffic, we have bad days. But automated systems, they are perfectly consistent. They can fill the gaps, they can edit the clips, and they can make sure the content is always there, which frees us up to be, well, human. And all of this leaves us with a huge final question. As automation and AI keep taking over all the rigid, time-sensitive tasks in our world, is it possible that the next big thing to be disrupted isn't just our jobs, but our entire fundamental relationship with time itself? And maybe, just maybe, we'll all learn to say, thank you for being late.